This is very privileged, masculine energy behavior. I can be committed to you for years, and yet I can also take this gentleman's break.
I'm Natalina Love, and I'm here with Adrienne Everheart. The next time you're wondering what to do or what to say when stay tuned for our tools, talk, and guidance.
So welcome, everyone. If you have a guy who's committed, but he's just not communicating, we're going to tell you exactly what to do or say. Isn't that right, Natalina?
Honestly, not a week goes by that we don't hear a situation that is exactly like this. And I mean, it's really surprising. We could be married. These are married women. These are in committed relationships, and they will have these same problems. So you're not alone if you're feeling like this, and we're going to fix it.
So I want to start off with whenever I hear about this, the first thing I think about is I can give myself this allowance to step away from the relationship and you. And then meanwhile, what happens to the woman while he does this? You know, it's a very privileged type of masculine energy behavior that I can do this and get away with it. The thing is that the woman is going through so many emotional ups and downs while that silence is happening. I mean, her world is spinning out of control.
That is really, really hard. And I honestly, I really like the way that you brought that word out. What privileged, I think entitled popped into my head.
Yeah.
But privileged. Then I don't think that's really how we feel in those moments. I think maybe selfish or a string of bad words, maybe also like the sadness, the what have I done wrong? What have I done wrong? All of these things are in the mix. What's heartbreaking is seeing these women trying harder to get his love, trying to get him back in the relationship when that's rarely what works.
Well, you're right. The woman is spinning out of control. She's wondering what to do. She's breaking down every conversation, every argument in the past, the last time he did this. She's maybe reaching out to friends or family for support and wondering, how is this all going to unfold for her? What does her future look like? Meanwhile, the guy knows exactly what he's doing. He's taking time away. And the place I always start at is that women, when we go into our masculine energy or we go into this more neurotic place or space, we analyze the man and we analyze what he said, what we said, or we over sympathize with him. And we say, well, what about his bad childhood? And what about his work situation? He just lost his job. Or what about all these things he's going through right now? His children from his first marriage or his ex-wife is causing problems. And it's not that I don't want you to be unsympathetic. Even a man who is committed but not communicating deserves sympathy of some type. But it's more about you're not deep diving into his psychology to figure him out. You can show up warm, you can show up empathetic, but also not lose yourself in the process. The deeper you dive into his psychology, the more you lose touch with who you are. And that's what leaves us, spinning or contributes to that spiraling and feeling out of control and out of alignment with your actually very powerful feminine energy.
I'm like, we can do this the long way. Or what is I want to give you like the shortest, most fastest, instantaneous fix. To be honest, like this could take as long as you like. Because if you like the man that you're with, because you wouldn't be stressing out. You wouldn't be watching this video if you're like, no, I don't really care. He's fine. This is fine. So how can we bring this energy back to ourselves? Hearing you talk about the things that we do, the things that we all do, we become his therapist, we become his caretaker. We try to fit ourselves into a box, entice him to want to communicate with us, to be with us, to give to us. And we can be on that treadmill forever.
Yes. And it's about getting off of that treadmill. It's such a good term. And finding what does work. So I teach something called the terms and agreements or the terms and conditions. And the terms and agreements, terms and conditions work like this. It is a contract that we have with our partner where we know that we don't go more than a day without communicating with each other. It would be weird. It would be strange. I'm in a committed relationship with you. Most recently, we had a member of iHeart Love Academy say, My guy has asked for some space. He didn't tell me how long. We're still in a committed relationship, but I'm like, every day, I'm like, what the heck is going on in my world? When's he coming back? What should I do? Should I go ahead and break up with him? And the thing is like, you have to a little bit lean back and let this unfold and see what this man can or can't do. Because when he does come back, and he will, it's going to have to be about like, let's discuss the terms and agreements again. We have to sit down. This is not how adults solve problems. We don't disappear on each other for days and not call. So I always recommend when he comes back around, which he will, instead of bombarding him with all of the turmoil you've been going through because he hasn't been present, your hamster wheel, like you said, you're instead going to give him what I call open forum. I didn't come up with that, but it's open forum. Like, I'm going to listen to you. I'm going to be present with you. I'm going to hear what you have to say without giving too much feedback. I'm just going to give you space to hear what you have to say. I'm going to sit here and listen. And he's going to tell you, oh, I had to help my mom and she's going through this terrible situation, or he'll have some story of strife or confusion or feeling alone and abandoned himself. And you might want to call BS on every word he's saying because you have been on your treadmill and driving yourself crazy with the what ifs. And in a way, rightly so. You need to know where you're going in a relationship. But when he comes back around, give him open forum. Let him say what he needs to say and use what I call my really, really get him tool, which is like, oh, you must be feeling so sad, or, oh, you must be feeling so disconnected. Whatever emotion he's going through, give him that little bit, give him some empathy, sympathy, give him some warm words, and then let there be a pause. And that pause is the most important place for feminine energy to ever stand and be. Because that pause is where the man fills that gap. Because he's actually, and correct me if you think I'm off here, but the guy is actually like kind of waiting for the woman to bombard him, attack him, or ask him, where the hell have you been? I've been here, I have been waiting for you to call for 5 days. Like, where have you been? I've been doing all this on my own. But that space that you're just holding, that open forum, that's going to be the real game changer in that space.
Oh, he knows he's being squirrely. He knows. He knows. Okay. And yes, I think that's part of this. Can the relationship go deeper? Actually, like, how are you going to call me out? Are you going to make me wrong? Are you going to be my teacher? Are you going to be my mom? How long are we going to do this dance?
Mm-hmm.
And what Adrienne's talking about is completely breaking the wheel on that. It's this lean back, opening up and going, you know what? I'm a girl that thrives on communication. I feel good when I get the phone calls. I feel good when I get the check-ins. I feel good when I've got this, and I feel good being with you. And whoa, I didn't see you. I didn't see you for 3 days.
Yeah, where you been?
Yeah, where have you been? Or, hey, stranger. And most of us, when we get to this point, that's not the kind of energy that we have. It's not, oh, hey, stranger, hey, sex.
And again, rightly so, because I've spoke to women who have been doing things like, I've been taking care of 3 kids by myself for the past week. Where's my husband? And you're telling me to be warm when he comes back, Adrienne? I don't think so. And it is a lot of, will this work if I come at him with my energy of how angry I am? Will this really work for the relationship? Do I want this to always be happening to me? Heck no. But that's where we're going to talk about the terms and agreements or terms and conditions, because we don't want this on repeat. We don't want this man feeling like this is what I'm always going to do to you whenever I feel like it. That privileged mindset.
I think that's also something that we can touch on. I mean, there's this image of the smiling, always sweet girl, always sweet woman. No matter what he does, she's going to meet him with, a marshmallow exterior. But like we're talking about the inner backbone with the terms and agreements of what is it exactly that I can count on you for? What is our relationship deal? Like, can you feel the power coming here?
Absolutely. I mean, and it's about getting both of you getting into this adult space of, we are both adults. We both know how to behave when we're being squirrely, when we're not being squirrely. Like, we're aware of this. And so having that discussion, that terms and agreements, revisiting it whenever you need to, and coming to your partner and saying, here's what I propose, or here's what I'm feeling. I felt completely abandoned. I'm glad you got your time away and you were able to sort some things out. I felt horrified. And as adults in a relationship, I want a relationship where we don't go more than a day or two with at least checking in with each other and checking in and making sure that we are okay, alive, safe, or something's going wrong, or I'm unhappy, or maybe I need to hurry up and rush this conversation. I need to know where I'm going immediately. You've taken off for 3 days. Well, are we divorced or are we not getting a divorce? I need to know where I am. So sometimes that urgent behavior, like you can feel that urgent behavior of like, where is my relationship going? I haven't heard from you. But at the same time, don't push a subject you don't want to talk about. If you don't want to get a divorce, if you don't want to break up, recently in our group, again, she said, I'm not ready to break up with him. I'm not ready to walk away. But what should I do? It's been like a week. I haven't heard from him, and I know he's with his family and they're up in the mountains at their cabin and I don't know what's going on. So when he comes back around, this is where you have to hit the reset button and say, hey, going forward, if we're going to continue to be in this relationship, you have to be in touch with me. I don't care if there's no signal way up in the mountains somewhere. Like, you need to drive to town and give me a call and touch in with me. I want to feel secure in my relationship. And then always end it with like, oh, what do you think about that?
Can we just take a moment to appreciate what Adrienne has modeled? When we talk about emotions and talking about the hard to share emotions, like I was horrified, I felt abandoned. These are really difficult things to share with someone that you intend to go deep and forever with. Having them right in front of you, it can be really hard, where you saw how Adrienne just did this. She was using those exact words without, you could feel the upset. However, she wasn't attacking. I wanted to bring some attention to that, because I think sometimes we can hear the words and then roll with it in our own way, where he can't hear any of our feeling because we're in full-blown war mode. Please do take that as a note. Go through them on the mirror. Get in front of a mirror and go through some of these things and actually feel what this feels like. Are you leaning forward? Are you in it to just tear him down? Or are you genuinely in your feeling place? That's something that we could talk more about as well.
Wait, you bring up a really good point, which is, how do we pace ourselves emotionally during this process? We're scared. We're horrified. We're feeling abandoned. How do we regulate our nervous system? And that is going to be a great segue into our next video, when he triggers me. So make sure you stay tuned for that next video coming up.
I hope this has been helpful. To recap, we've talked about the terms and agreements. We've talked about giving space and an open forum and not overanalyzing it. Remember to like and subscribe and post your questions in the comments.
Yeah, we'll be happy to hear and answer any questions you might have. And for those of you who are committed, yet you're not hearing from your guy, try some of these tools and give us some feedback. Let us know how it goes. Until next time. Bye.
It's a brand new day.